You all showed so much support with my first 10 tips and tricks video that I uploaded after the first week that I decided to go ahead and upload another one. And I'll be leaving a link to my first 10 tips and tricks video in the description for those who haven't seen it yet. And just like with the last video, my main goal is to hopefully show you a thing or two you didn't already know. And if you did end up learning anything from this video, be sure to either leave a like, share, favorite, or comment. Anyways, the first couple of tips I'm gonna go over have to deal with this most recent patch that was released yesterday for PC and today for console. The first tip I'm gonna go over is probably the most requested feature since this game launched. And this one has to do with the infamous radio. But after this most recent patch, you now have the ability to turn off the radio. And in order to turn off your radio, all you have to do is press start and go to the pause menu and then scroll down to the audio option. And once you selected audio, if you scroll all the way down, you'll see a new option that says radio. And from there you can turn off your radio, or for those who prefer it, you can keep it on. It's up to you. But I know a lot of people have been requesting that they wanted to be able to turn off the radio, and now you have the ability to do so. The second tip I'm gonna go over is another tip that came with this most recent patch. And this one has to do with the vehicle drop-off rebel support skill. As we all know, up to this point, when you unlocked the pickup truck, that was the only vehicle you could use. And then when you upgraded it to an armored SUV, you could only use the SUV and you couldn't select the pickup truck. And then when you upgraded the vehicle drop-off skill to helicopters, you could only use helicopters and you weren't able to select the pickup truck or the SUV. But with this most recent patch, you're now able to choose which vehicle you want to use when you select the vehicle drop-off skill. And I'm not sure what you have to press on PC. If you know, be sure to let us know in the comments below. But on console, all you have to do is pull up your command wheel and then select the vehicle drop-off option, and you'll see a new feature directly below it that allows you to switch vehicles. So as soon as you pull up your command wheel, select vehicle drop-off, and then you'll have to press either left or right on the D-pad, and you'll be able to select which vehicle you want to have dropped off. And that's another feature I know a lot of people have been requesting on the forums. So yeah, I'm really glad to see that they're implementing some of the requests that we've made. Alright, so for the third tip, I wanted to point out that you can destroy drone jammers with just one sniper shot. And it was kind of weird how I found out. I actually walked up to the drone jammer to deactivate it manually. And when I went to go deactivate it, I accidentally hit the trigger button because fingers. And I noticed that when I shot my sniper, it destroyed the drone jammer. And just to make sure that this wasn't a fluke, I actually went to another drone jammer and did the same exact thing. I shot the deactivation switch with my HTI sniper, and I was able to destroy it with just one bullet. One thing that I should point out is that I didn't have a suppressor on my sniper when I shot it, and I also tried to shoot it with a couple of other snipers without a suppressor, and I wasn't able to do it. So if you want to one-shot the drone jammer, you should be able to do it by shooting the deactivation switch using the HTI sniper without a suppressor. Now in my last tips and tricks video, I pointed out how you can use EMP drones to steal enemy helicopters, but I forgot to mention that you can also use them during the steal helicopter side missions as well. So if for any reason the enemies get alerted and you see one's about to hop in the helicopter and fly away, be sure to use your EMP drone. And speaking of the EMP drone, for the fifth tip, we have another use for the EMP. And this tip basically has to do with convoys. Obviously, when you use the EMP drone on the convoy, it's going to disable the vehicles for about 20 seconds or so, which obviously makes it easier to steal that vehicle. And the way that I like to do it is I like to set down a mine to take out the first escort vehicle, and then I EMP the vehicle that has the supplies, and then I use my grenade launcher to take out the third vehicle, which is another escort vehicle. So that's one way you could use the EMP drones and take out the escort vehicles. One thing that's important to note is that if you tag the supplies while the vehicle is still disabled, you'll only get half of the supplies. So what I would recommend doing is after you destroy the escort vehicles and EMP the supply vehicle, just wait a couple seconds till the EMP effect wears off and then tag your supplies. That way you'll get the full amount. Assuming of course you didn't blow up the supply vehicle. Alright, so my sixth tip has to do with mines, and I'm not sure if y'all know about this or not, but not only can the mines destroy vehicles, but they can also kill enemies that walk over the mines. So if you're ever in like a sniper tower or on top of a building like you see in this example, you can go ahead and place down a couple of mines on the stairs, and if any enemies try to come up those stairs, then they'll end up being blown up by the mine that you set down. So yeah, not only can you use mines to destroy vehicles, but you can also use them to kill enemies as well. Now, as for the number 7 tip, this is one I've known about since the beta, but I didn't include it in the first 10 tips and tricks video, so that's why I decided to include it in this one. And this tip basically allows you to zoom out to get a better view of everything that's around you. In order to do this tip, all you have to do is holster your weapon, and you can holster your weapon by holding down the button that switches weapons. Once you hold that down, it'll holster your weapon, and then after you do that, all you have to do is tap the button that pulls up your command wheel. And as you can see here, once you do that, it's going to zoom out and give you a better view of everything that's around you. It's not really useful when it comes to combat, but it can be used for those who are trying to take screenshots or things of that nature. So that's my number 7 tip. Holster your weapon, then press the same button that pulls up your command wheel, and it's going to zoom out and give you a better view. Alright, so for the 8th tip, I wanted to point out how you can prevent enemies from running away, whether it's a lieutenant or a target, or in this case a buyer. And if the enemy is armed and he's shooting at you, then you may want to shoot him in the leg a couple of times with your pistol. Or if he's not armed, like in this example, all you have to do is shoot at the ground near his feet a couple of times, and it'll force the enemy to ball up into like a little fetal position, and he will no longer try to run away. So if for any reason you think you're not going to be able to stop the target before he gets away, then try either shooting him in the leg or shooting at the ground near his feet, and it should make the mission a little bit easier because you don't have to go chasing after him. Alright, so for the 9th tip, I wanted to explain the different play styles. And for those who don't know, whenever you press select and go to the lobby tab and then hover over either your name or one of your friends' names, you'll see the option that says info. Once you select info, it'll bring up this screen here, and it'll show you different stats that you've accumulated. And the one that I wanted to point out is that play style near the top. And if you look towards the right of playstyle, you'll see that it says grunt, and there's a couple of other names that it could possibly say as well. But I came across this little infographic, which I'll go ahead and pull up now. And as you can see, it sort of explains how you can get the different types of play styles. So in the example I showed you, I was labeled as a grunt, which means that I'm not silent often. It also means that I am tactical, and I get most of my kills in medium range. So that's how you get to see what your playstyle is, and this explains what that playstyle means. And for the 10th and final tip, I wanted to point out that aiming down sights makes it easier to see different supplies that are nearby. I don't believe you need to use like a certain weapon. I was able to do it with assault rifles and sniper rifles. All you have to do is just aim down your sight. You'll notice that your mini-map shows more detail, and oftentimes it makes it easier to see where supplies are that are nearby. But yeah, that pretty much sums up all the tips and tricks I'm going to share in this video. Again, if you didn't see my first 10 tips and tricks, be sure to go check that out. A link to it will be in the description. Also, if y'all enjoyed this video or found it useful in any way, don't forget to leave a like, share, favorite, or comment. As a matter of fact, let's see if we can get more likes than we did with the first 10 tips and tricks video. I doubt it, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if y'all are up for the challenge. Anyways, that'll do it for this video. If y'all enjoyed it or found it useful, don't forget to do what you do. I'm A1. Thanks for watching.